Hey, what's up, everybody? Thanks so much for joining. We are super excited to have you here for our latest installment of Feature Fest. Today, we're excited to introduce one of ClickUp's most powerful features to date, which is ClickUp Chat. So if your team currently relies on Slack or Zoom or another chat app, you're going to be really excited about this one. Just to introduce myself, so my name is Elliot. I'm the manager of customer enablement here at ClickUp. And I do have a few housekeeping items that I wanted to get through before we get started. So first of all, the session length today is going to be about 30 minutes long. We do have both a chat and a Q&A. So the chat is where you can drop all the messages, let us know where you're from, but then just be aware there's also a Q&A. So the Q&A is where you can submit questions. We do have an entire team here that's going to be responding to those questions. And at the end of the session, we'll be grabbing those questions and answering them together live. A couple other things to mention. The session is being recorded. We are going to make sure that our recording does get out to you. And then there are going to be some links to resources that I wanted to share with you. So in the upper right-hand corner where you can choose the tabs for chat or Q&A, you should also see a resources link. That should take you to this Feature Fest chat wiki, which has tons of information for you. So in here, we've got an FAQ. So we've got all of the potential frequently asked questions that we've started to see around chat. We've also got links to product feedback and the Help Center. So for product feedback, just be aware, we really want to hear your feedback. We want to know, how is chat working for you? How isn't it working for you? What features are missing? What do you wish was included? What do you wish wasn't included? All of your feedback is incredibly valuable to us because the product team will take an action on that feedback. And then any other questions that you have about other features, feel free to hop over to the Help Center. There is a live chat there where our support team can help you with any questions that you have about ClickUp. So before we talk about what we plan to cover today, I did want to talk a little bit about why chat, and then I definitely want to talk about pricing and availability. To kick things off and just talk a little bit about why chat. So first of all, I just wanted to know if any of these statements look familiar to you. So things like, has anybody created a task for this yet? Or has somebody already actioned this? Or I've had to copy and paste things so much from our chat platform into ClickUp, or I don't remember where this conversation was had, or I wish I could see only the conversations that matter to me. So these are all really common issues that I think we're all familiar with. And these are the reasons why ClickUp knew we needed to create chat. To be honest, chat has actually always been on the roadmap, as we at ClickUp know how crucial it is to your everyday work. But the best part about ClickUp Chat specifically is that it's always connected and contextual to the work being done. So it's saving you time, it's making you more efficient. And since you don't need to toggle between screens or copy paste info from one place to another, you save tons and tons of time. So combine that with our powerful project management solution, our search capabilities that are connected to all of your other apps, and power that with AI, you can see that chat offers a seamless way to enhance team communication and collaboration. All right, and then I know that there's been a lot of questions around pricing and availability. So with regard to availability, chat will be available for all plans. We want to make sure that everybody has an amazing customer experience, and that's why we're rolling it out to segments on the waitlist. So please understand that there aren't going to be any exceptions to the waitlist. This ensures that we get it to you as fast as possible with the fewest amount of problems. However, if you don't yet have access to chat, I did just want to show you how you can get on the wait list. So all we need to do is, I'm going to hop over to another workspace here. This workspace currently doesn't have access to chat. You'll notice that I'm in the Click Apps section of my settings. So you do need to have an admin account in order to get access to your Click Apps and in order to turn on chat or get on the wait list. And here you'll see in my Click Apps, I've got a new Click App for chat. So this new Click App for chat, all I need to do in order to get on the waitlist is toggle this on, and you'll see it's going to tell me that chat is currently at capacity and we've added you to the waitlist. So this is the best way to get on the waitlist. You can also click on the notify me button here in order to make sure that we send you an email once chat is available. So that's also the way that you're going to be notified once chat is available on your workspace. So we're going to be emailing you directly, letting you know, hey, you now have access to chat. You can go and toggle it on in your Click apps. And just by the way, you can actually click this chat toggle as many times as you want. It's not going to change your place in the waitlist. So that place on the waitlist is solidified as soon as you hit it the first time. It's not going to impact anything. So feel free to jump into your workspace, toggle on chat. You might actually already have access to chat and you just hadn't toggled it on yet. Alternatively, this will get you on that waitlist. Okay. And then I did want to talk a little bit about cost. So right now, chat is free with all the features available. There will most likely be some cost to some features in the near future. To be honest, the team is still figuring out what that will be or what that will look like. But it's going to most likely be around the features that take up the most resources. So things like, video calls. But I just wanted to call out that the main driver here is actually value and savings. We want you to get the most value as possible from chat and also save money by not having to use other platforms like Slack or Zoom. With that being said, let's dive into what we plan to cover today. So we're going to start things off by talking through some chat basics. From there, we'll talk through our advanced chat features and really how to connect your chats to the work that's taking place in the platform. From there, we'll talk a little bit about AI in chat and some of the newly specialized AI chat features. And as always, at the end of the session, we'll have a live Q&A. So let's go ahead and dive into chat basics. So getting started, let me just hop over into my workspace here. And you'll notice that now that I have chat enabled, I've got this new chat icon that I can jump to open up my chat. When you open up your chat, you'll see that you've got this sidebar here that you can scroll to see across all of your chats. And where I want to start is the Launchpad. So the Launchpad is going to be this big purple plus button here. You can also hit Command G to launch it. And from here, I can create a new chat, I can create a new DM, or I can create a new group. This is a DM, but with more team members. The one best practice I just wanted you to be aware of with regard to the Launchpad is your ability to see across all of the chats in your workspace that you have access to. So here you'll see there's a View All button. By clicking on View All, this is going to show me all of the chats. And then from here, I can choose which chats I want to follow or unfollow. If I click Follow on a chat, you'll notice that that chat is then added to the group of chats in my left-hand sidebar. Or if I mouse back over that and unfollow it, you'll see that it's removed. Whether you're following a chat or you've unfollowed a chat will directly coincide with the notifications that you get around chat. And you do have specific notification settings that you can actually set for each individual chat within ClickUp Chat. And we'll get to more of that towards the end. Next, I wanted to take a look at some of the quick options to the left here. So in the upper left-hand corner, we've got replies, posts, follow-ups, activity, drafts, and sent. Your replies are where you're going to be able to see any replies to messages that you've left or that have been left on messages that you've posted. For follow-ups, this is where you're going to be able to see any of your assigned messages. And I'm actually going to talk about this in more detail in a little bit. We've got activity, which is going to show you all of your mentions, reactions, and chats that have been assigned to you. And then we've got drafts and sent, where you can actually draft chats for posting in the future. Or if you got sidetracked and you were in the middle of a message, that message will appear in your drafts and sent. But the one option here that I wanted to be sure that everybody is aware of is posts. Posts is really cool because posts is a centralized location where all of your post style chats will be collected. So in ClickUp Chat, you have the ability in any of the chats that you're in to create a post. A post is something like an update, an announcement, an idea, or the start of a discussion. And when you create that post, what it's going to do is post it in that chat that you're in, but it's also going to add it to your posts here. This way, you never have to go searching across all of your separate chats to find the most important messages or any announcements, new ideas, etc. This is really great for things like HR updates, or you can see I've got some posts here on core values awards, HR benefits planning. So there's tons and tons of use cases for posts. But again, the value you get from posts is you no longer have to go searching for them. They're all located in this centralized post location. And you can set the settings across all of these different chats for the notifications that you get. But any chat that you follow, those posts will be centralized here. All right, so now that we've covered some of the basics, let's go through some of the more advanced features. And I want to start with DMs. So your DMs are going to be located at the bottom. This is where your direct messages are. Here you can see I've been messaging with my team members. If I were to control click or right click on a team member's messages, you'll see that I have the ability to move that DM to a section. So you do have the ability to create sections for organization. You can see that I've created sections for priority and team. So I'm actually going to move her to my team. And then your DMs are going to work just like any other type of messaging app that you're used to. You can type messages here, but you also have the ability to mention a task, assign a particular comment to somebody, and then we've got emojis. But there are a couple of other advanced features that I wanted to call out. At the top of the chat, you'll notice that we've got some tabs. Here we've got your calendar, so we can actually see not just the chat with this particular team member, but we can actually see into that team member's calendar all of the tasks that they're working on for the week, if those tasks have start dates and due dates. And we can also see all of the assigned tasks that have been assigned to this particular person. Also from here is where you'll have the ability to create sync ups. A sync up is your ability to have a video chat with another team member or a group of team members where you can do audio, video, or screen sharing. So all I have to do is click the button here. It's going to open up the sync up. It's going to let that team member know that I've added them to a sync up and they can join. And to leave the sync up, all I have to do is click the leave button here. Next, let's jump over to a chat. So I think I'm going to start in our new campaigns chat. And by the way, all the chats right now are actually linked to locations. So this new campaigns chat is directly linked to my new campaigns list that I manage our new campaigns out of. Now, because the chats are location-based, you have quick access to all of the work that's actually taking place within that location. And I'll show you that in just a moment. But I did want to mention one update that will be coming to chats. So there is a plan to have locationless chats in the near future, meaning that you'll be able to have chats that aren't based on locations. But the benefit of having your chats based on locations is that here you can see I've got my chat with Alicia and Mia, and I can see the posts in this particular channel. But what's really cool is that because this chat is linked to a location, that being our new campaigns list, as our team members are talking about particular projects like the Spooky Discounts campaign, I can actually go straight to the board view and see the projects that our team is working on. So I can see that new Spooky Discounts Halloween campaign. I can actually click into it, make updates to this. I can leave messages here if I need to, write comments. I can do any of the things that I would do on any of our tasks because this is actually the task where the work is happening for this project. So not only do you get the context of the communication that's taking place in your chats, you don't have to context switch and go and find those projects. Those projects are right there for you to sort, filter, view, and action on. Finally, I did want to call out a couple of other items that are going to be located in your chat. So in the upper right-hand corner, this is where you're going to find your location details. So what's really cool here is you'll be able to see the description or topics for this chat. So you'll be able to see what this chat is about. You'll also be able to see all of the team members that are currently following this chat. You'll see any files associated with this chat. But what's really cool is that we've got this AI button. So if I click on AI here, you'll see that it pulls up the ability to catch me up. So for any of your chats that you're following or that you choose to follow, you can actually choose to then catch yourself up on those chats. This is incredibly useful if a lot of chats have gone back and forth over a long weekend, or maybe you took time off and you're coming back and you're trying to catch yourself up, or it's a chat that you just started following and you're not familiar with all the conversations that have taken place over the last week. So from here, you have the ability to get updated on the last 24 hours, 2 days, etc. And it's going to generate, let's just go ahead and choose 2 days. And it's going to generate that update for you in a bulleted format that's summarized and easy to read through. And then finally, within your chats, you'll notice that you also have this floating sidebar. So there are some really cool things that you can do here as well. And this sidebar will follow you across all of the different chats. Here, you can search within a chat. You have the ability to see all of the recent replies within a chat. You'll be able to see all of the follow-ups that you've been tagged in, whether you've been assigned to you or ones that you've resolved. And you'll be able to see any task relationships that have been added to this particular chat. Now, follow-ups and relationships are actually something I want to go into more detail on, because even though your chats are where your communication and context are, they aren't necessarily where the work is taking place. And that's what I wanted to focus on next, moving that work outside of chat and into tasks where it can actually be actioned on and delivered. So there's 2 places we can do this: connecting tasks and creating tasks. If you're connecting chats to your tasks or connecting tasks to your chats, this involves linking an existing task to a chat message. So for example, let me jump down to our webinars chat, and you can see that Mia and I have been chatting about the current webinar schedule for the APAC and EMEA region. Well, from here, if we know that we've got a task that relates directly to this work, all I need to do is mouse over the chat, choose the Connect a Task option here. From here, I'm going to go ahead and choose the workshop scheduling. And now this task is actually going to be linked to this chat. So if I were to open the task, you can see that the information from the chat is actually now captured within the task itself. And it's letting us know that this is a message from the webinar's chat. So again, I have quick access to this work. I can do assignment, due dates, make updates to this task as needed. And I'm right back in the chat where all of the communication and context was. Next, let's talk about creating tasks. So as mentioned, we've got this option for follow-ups, which you can see on the floating sidebar on the right. And if I were to scroll up, you would see your follow-ups here. Follow-ups are for any time that a task gets assigned to you. You can actually action on that chat by converting the chat to a task and then closing it out. So let's go ahead and click on our follow-ups. And here you can see that there was a message that was assigned to me. So let's just go ahead and open that message up. And here you can see that Mia had been talking about an Oktoberfest campaign. I've tagged Alicia into that campaign. And let's say that I actually want to create a task from that campaign. So you'll notice that instead of connecting a task this time, we want to create a task. All I have to do is mouse over the create or assign button. Here, I have the ability to either create that task manually, or I can create that task with AI. So let's go ahead and create with AI. And here you can see the task was created successfully and I can view it here. So let's go ahead and actually make quick edits to it. We don't just want to consider this Oktoberfest campaign, we want to do it. So I'm going to go ahead and remove that word, and let's go ahead and repost this task back to the thread. So now everybody can see that not only was I able to action on the conversation, I was able to generate a task from that conversation, post that task back to the conversation for everybody to see. And now I can just go ahead and resolve this comment out because the work that I needed to do is done. But that's actually not all our AI can do. You see, AI is integrated across multiple places in chat. And so I wanted to talk a little bit more about where you can find and engage with AI. So I've already shown you how you can use AI in a particular chat. So if you were in your chat about new campaigns, right, we can use AI to catch ourselves up on what's taking place here. We also talked about the ability to quickly convert a chat to a task using AI, but we've also got a bunch of other AI options here. So if I click on the AI button here, you'll notice that we can summarize chats. Again, we can create tasks with AI, but we can also find related tasks or find related chats. And this is really cool. So let me just go back to our webinars chat, and you can see that Alicia had posted an idea about a new community webinar on AI custom fields. So what's really cool is I can go ahead and click on find related tasks here, and the AI can actually search across the workspace and find any related tasks that might be related to this idea. So let's go ahead and copy that and add it to the chat here for reference. But not only that, the AI can actually also find related chats. So if there were any related conversations, the platform would be able to find those conversations and then pull them for reference so that I never lose all of those threads of context across all of the chats that are happening across the platform. Okay, I know we've covered a lot today, from the basics to advanced chat features. We talked a little bit about chat workflows and AI. Now I wanted to open up things for live Q&A. So if you've got additional questions about chat, please drop those in the Q&A. Also, I'll be looking through all the questions that came through, and for ones that look popular or common, I'm going to answer those live with you together now. Hey everyone, I'm back. I did want to call out that during the live webinar today, we did have a bit of a technical issue. We had to move everybody into a Zoom room. If you weren't able to get into that Zoom room, what I've done is collected all of the questions and answers that came up during that Zoom session, and then I'm re-recording them here to provide to you as a part of the recording. So let's go through some questions together. I think we covered a ton in that session, and I know that a lot of people had a lot of feedback with regard to pricing, availability. Hopefully you feel like that was covered in the introduction to this video. If not, I'll cover it a little bit again towards the end here, but I really wanted to focus more on the features and what you can really expect with chat. So let's go ahead and dive back into our workspace and back into chat. And I wanted to talk through a couple of different options that you have in chat along with best practices. So sections, there were some questions that came through with regard to creating sections, best practices for sections. If you noticed in my chat that I have here, I actually have a couple of different sections that I've created. So I've got a pinned section, I have priority, and I have team. Just be aware that the pinned is sort of a default section that you can create. So if I'm in a particular chat with a team member, if I open up the location details here, I'll have the ability to then pin that chat, and it will move it into my pinned chats, as you can see on the left-hand side here. Alternatively, if you want to create your own sections, all you need to do is control click or right click on one of your chats. And from here, you'll have the option to either move it to a section, or if I click here, I actually have the ability to create a new section. So one best practice for sections is to create different levels of priority or categories that you know you want to get back to. In my case, you can see that I've got a section for my team, I've got a section for high priority messages, and then I've got pinned messages where I'm kind of keeping the chats that are coming through that maybe are of most importance this week, but probably won't be that important over time. And so I'll be able to pin them and then easily remove them whenever I need to. This also brings me to my next point, which I wanted to talk a little bit more detail about your settings. So let's go ahead and jump to the settings for your chats. So your settings are going to be in the lower right-hand corner of the left-hand sidebar here. So you can see there's a little preferences icon. If I click on the preferences here, you'll see I've got two different options for organization, and then I've got options for chat notifications. So let's go ahead and click on the different styles of organization first. So I can either style by recents, in which case you'd be able to see all of your recent chats in the sidebar. Alternatively, you can organize your chats yourself and choose the organize view, in which case you're going to be able to see all of the sections that you've created along with your pinned chats. So I personally like to keep things organized, but it's totally up to you how you want to organize your own chats. Next, coming down here, we've got our chat notifications. So here you can see we've got options. These are global options for all of our notifications that we would receive either in the browser, via mobile, or in the inbox, or in your email. So here you'll have the ability to actually toggle on any of these notification types. And then if you open up the advanced settings, you'll see you have the ability to actually choose which types of chats end up landing in your inbox versus just inside your chat. So if you have chats of high importance that you know are critical to your success or critical to your work in that moment, and you want to make sure that all of the chats from that particular chat land in your inbox so you see them because maybe you're very used to checking your inbox, you have the ability to actually choose which types of chats will end up in your inbox. So you can choose some or all or none. It's totally up to you. These are global settings, so this would impact all of the chats that are coming through. The great thing about chat is that it's not just global settings. You can actually set settings both globally and individually. So let's go ahead and take a look at what that looks like. I'm going to go ahead and just turn all of these off because I actually like keeping my chats in chat and kind of keeping them separate from my inbox. But maybe there's a situation where I'm working on a project or there's a particular location that I work out of all the time, and I know that I want to be getting those updates in my inbox instead of just in my chat. So let's go ahead and go back to our new campaigns list here, and you'll see when I right click or control click on the new campaigns, I have the ability to change notification settings here. So these are no longer the global notification settings. These are the specific notification settings for this specific chat. So I can even choose to get emails from this specific chat if that's something that's really relevant to me and I prefer to receive these chats in my email. Alternatively, you also have the ability to turn on your inbox. You can then open up the advanced settings here and then actually choose which types of notifications will trigger the chat to actually be sent to your inbox so that you can check it there. So again, you have tons of customizability and control over how your chats notify you and where those chats end up showing up. And I think one follow-up question here that I saw earlier was just in regard to the global settings versus the customized chat settings. So if you were to set a set of customized chat settings and then go and update your global settings, would that impact the customized settings that you've set? The answer is no. So once you've set these customized settings for a particular chat, those customized settings are set. You don't have to worry about changes to your global settings, then later impacting these customized settings and having to come back and redo them. So as long as you've set the custom settings for the chat, those custom settings will not change when you update your global settings. And I think that brings me to one other point that I wanted to cover, which was just around privacy or security. So who actually has access to my chats? Who can actually follow these chats? Who's going to get notifications on these chats? The best way to see that is going to be in the upper right-hand corner here. So here you can see all of the people that are currently following this chat. If I click on the icon here, you'll see it will open up. I can actually see who is specifically following this chat at the given time, but I also have the ability to see who has access to the chat in the next tab over. So by clicking here, I can actually see across anybody who currently has access to this chat. And if there's somebody who has access but isn't currently following the chat, I also have the ability to just tag them in so that they now follow the chat. So if you ever have team members that already have access to a location, you know that they want to be included in the chats that are taking place here, you can then go ahead and set them as a follower. They'll be added to that chat. That chat will then show up in their left-hand sidebar here. And from there, they can go ahead and use AI to catch themselves up or set their own specific customized chat notification settings as needed. Another question that came through was with regard to guest access. You may have noticed that guests don't currently have access to chat. So I just wanted to call out that we are aware of that. This is something that the team is working on, and there is a planned solution for guests to get access to chats in the future. Also, there was a question around the calendar. So for the calendar in the profile view, will ClickUp actually push to native calendars, including Outlook? The answer is if you go to somebody's direct message, right? So let's go ahead and jump to Mia's profile in chat and jump over to her calendar. Now you do have the ability to actually add items to this calendar. As long as this calendar and the location where you're setting these items up was actually connected to their Outlook calendar or to their other calendar, then yes, it will actually show up and get pushed out to that calendar. Alternatively, if it hasn't been connected to that calendar yet, it's not necessarily going to automatically push there. But I will say that there are also plans to completely renew the calendar and how we engage with calendars in ClickUp. And so that team is actually going to be adding a lot more features and functionality to the calendar in the near future. So definitely be on the look for those calendar updates. Okay, and then the last feature that I wanted to show again was just posts. So we got a lot of feedback on posts. I did want to show you how posts work one more time. So posts in any chat that you're in, so in any location that you're chatting in, let's just go ahead and jump to campaigns here. And let's just go ahead and say I wanted to create a post. You'll notice posts are going to be the second tab that you have access to. I'm going to go ahead and click post here. From here, you'll have the ability to choose what type of post that you'd like to make. So we can make an update, an announcement, an idea, or a discussion topic. All I have to do is choose what kind of post I want to do. Then you can type your post in, post that post. And as mentioned earlier, the best thing about these posts is that it doesn't just sit inside the chat that you specifically posted it in, but it will all be filtered up into your posts so you can see across all of the posts for all of the chats that you're currently following. And then I think just one final call out. I know that a lot of people were asking about access availability. So just be aware that we don't have an exact time frame right now for the waitlist. Our team is working to meet the overwhelming demand that everybody wants to get onto chat. So we're really excited to see that everybody really wants to be on chat. Just be aware that the fastest way to get on the waitlist, again, is going to be through toggling chat on in your workspace. So just to show that one final time, if I jump to my other workspace that doesn't currently have chat, you'll see it's going to be in your Click apps. All I have to do is click on the chat toggle here. That's going to add you to the waitlist. And then just be aware there aren't going to be any exceptions made to the waitlist, because by not making exceptions, that's how our team is going to ensure that we get chat out to you as quickly as possible and that it works exactly as intended. So again, just wanted to say thank you to everybody who joined today. We really appreciate you. We love this community. You are all so amazing. We love how engaged you are. We love how much you care about this product. And we really wouldn't be able to do all this without you. So I wanted to say, thanks again for joining. We appreciate you, and apologies again for the earlier mishap, but hopefully now you've gotten access to everything. So all of the information about chat, all the updates, but most especially that pricing and availability information that I know has been so important to so many people. So thanks again. Looking forward to seeing you in the next one.